started OnlyFans just a few months ago, and when I started, I had no idea how much money to expect to make and how much work I would have to put in. So let's go over the numbers and talk about the 3 things that brought me the most success in my first month. I'm Quinn, an investment banker turned OF entrepreneur. Let's dive in. In my first month, I was going in blind, so I looked at other girls on YouTube who also started with no social media following and decided to set a goal of making $200. I actually watched about 10 different girls and plotted their first month earnings in Excel, and they had made anywhere between $60 to $2,000. Some girls made way more, but they had leveraged prior following, so I didn't use them to compare myself. By the end of my first month, I completely blew my goal of $200 out of the water by making a gross revenue of $6,514.75 and a net revenue of $5,211.50. For those of you who haven't started yet, OnlyFans keeps a 20% cut from your earnings, and if you use my creator referral link in my Insta, 5% of OF's cut goes back to me, and in turn incentivizes me to help you grow and become successful. So if you use that link, get in contact with me and I'll give you some private coaching. While this might sound like a lot of money, and it is, I promise it's only scratching the surface of what's possible. I was able to get into the top 1% of earners in my second month, and I've kept growing ever since, making around 30k net revenue in my last 30 days on the platform, all whilst working a demanding full-time job. But let's get into the work required to have a successful OnlyFans page. For me, it started as a balancing act, juggling working on Earth while at work and then catching up on DMs when I was at home. I put about 5 to 6 hours a day on weekdays and easily 12-hour days a day on weekends. My schedule has changed a lot since then, but starting an OF is like starting any other business. It has to be your baby. Work on it, think about it all the time, put everything into it, and you'll manage to get it going. So one of the big things that made me successful in my first month is Reddit. YouTube, TikTok, Insta, and Twitter all leverage your audience, so your subs or followers. And the bigger you are on their platform, the more people you can expect your posts to reach. To really highlight this, my YouTube channel I've just started has reached a staggering 34 people, and I've spent over 50 hours working on my channel and content so far. That's not much bang for my buck, but Reddit on the other hand ranks content purely based on upvotes over downvotes. So if you make good content, you can be seen by millions of people, and that's exactly what I did. I started by building an analysis tool that helped me track my reach across all my platforms. And then on Reddit, I tracked everything about every single post, from titles to content, to where and when I posted, to concentration metrics, and of course, how much engagement I got. I mean, every single metric I could think of was tracked, and I built a model that helped me work out how to post more efficiently. I was able to grow from 320k views a week to consistently over 1 million views a week on Reddit alone in my first month. And if that wasn't good enough, I also increased my conversion rate over that time. In investment banking, we say data is king. So later I'll help you learn how to track your data, how to optimize it. If you're interested and want me to post more videos going into depth, then please subscribe. The next important thing to mention is my DMs. OF is the only platform I talk to my subs, and through messaging alone, I made over 82% of my revenue in my first month. From looking at other OF creators, this is a much higher percentage than them. This means my subs were only 18% of my revenue. I made great friendships with at least a dozen people in that first month. I got to meet people who work in bookstores, lawyers, investment bankers, and even a politician in the cabinet right now, and tons of other awesome people with amazing lives to share with me. But I really did message them a lot, like 4 hours a day a lot. You hear all the time, it's not about keeping the people inside your page, but about getting people into your page. But while there is some truth there, that approach clearly isn't the full picture. Actually, I'd go far as to say I fundamentally disagree with the logic for 90% of creators that want to go from making a few thousand a month to making 30k plus a month, and I will provide frameworks as to why in a future video. But high level, if you spend more time with the people in your page, they will support you harder, and that really shows here through my next few months. I'd recommend reading 1,000 True Fans if you're still not totally sold. Finding my niche kinks categories. I will use niche, but I mean all the above. So I stumbled into OF based on a post I made about something I was into, but I've actually spent a lot of time since exploring niches, and I've just made a full video on this topic that I would totally recommend you to watch. I think this is a topic girls get wrong again and again. High level, the problem is there's a lot of 10 out of 10 girls that have their stuff out there for free. Just go to the homepage of PH and have a look for yourself. So if you're trying to exist in the babe realm and you're new and not drop dead gorgeous, think again. I did, and sometimes you have to be objective about your assets. The way I define picking a good niche would be picking niches that meet the 3 following categories. 1. They have a small, medium-sized audience but a semi-cult following. 2. Do you like the niche? 3. Do your niches synergize? You must have niches that complement each other. Now, this is a topic that is so important. I cannot stress this enough, so please check out my full video on it if you want to learn more. It is not good enough to just go, oh, I'm 35, I'll go into the MILF niche. You can do way better, I promise you that. If you made it this far, thank you. I'd love some feedback in the comments about what you think of these kind of videos, and if you're thinking about starting your own OF page, why don't you check out my Should I Start an OnlyFans video?